We're live. Hola, marhaba, good morning, bonjour, and ni hao. Thanks so much for getting back to the Global Expat podcast with our amazing guest, Andrew Williams, from the CEO, founder of Remote Tribe and Desktop. We have a very fast episode today. We don't have an hour, just have almost half an hour. So thanks so much, Andrew, getting back to us. And I think you have something that you would like to share with our guest and audience, which is your new, you can say, startup, which is called Desktop.
Venture, yeah.
Yes, the venture. Yeah, yeah, yeah. First of all, where you come? I mean, the name is it's a mix between hop and desktop, and so
Yeah,
it's a very catchy name. If you can
yeah,
get
thanks.
us about background about the name, that would be very helpful. Yeah.
Totally, I think it's a name that makes sense. It's for people. This product, digital product, is for people who want to hop desk between countries and cities. So Desktop is a platform where digital nomads and remote workers can find a beautiful space to work from, and it's on an hourly basis or on a daily basis, so daily pass. So let's say you're in a city in Singapore. Right now, we're live in 15 cities in Southeast Asia. And let's just say you're roaming around there and you need a space to work from. You have to focus for half a day or a day. You just go on our platform on desktop.work, and then you can book a space for a few hours or for the whole day. You just show up at the space will be waiting for you, and you're just gonna show up at the reception, and you're gonna check in, and you're gonna go and start doing some amazing work.
And this is independent of any service provider. So this is not just Regis or WeWork. This is work with
Correct.
anyone.
Correct. So we have different partners. We're talking to a lot of spaces even right now to get them on board from different brands. There are other small or medium chains or like independent co-working spaces. We want to encourage those spaces to come on as well and bring them clients. And we're trying to look for really good spaces where they have quiet booths, where they have good communities, decent prices. So, people can also connect and just enjoy their work wherever they are in the world, as this is our life, digital nomads and remote workers.
I think I've already signed up, but this is one of the things I've been looking up for many years. I am a member of Regis World Program, a member of WeWork, and other also a lot of you can say access lounge in the airport because sometimes I use airports as my desk space. So that's amazing. So what makes Desktop different from other platforms?
We are a pay per use, so we're trying to keep things simple. You just find your space, you create an account or login, and then you just pay for the number of hours per day for the day pass, and that's it. You don't need to commit to monthly expensive monthly pass, weekly pass. We only work with short term agreements, and we're also trying to bring new spaces. We're all the time looking for new and cool spaces around the world to bring them on the platform. So expect to have more and more funky places and really nice things to environments to work from.
So it's like Airbnb for desk space. That right?
Something like yeah, but for short term again, like we because we travel so much and we want to try different things. Nomads and remote workers don't really like commitment so much. We just focus on short term renting, so to say, of hot desk of desk offices. So we're not at the moment offering any weekly passes or anything like that. Maybe in the future, but I don't think it's the case in the near future. And we would try to give people flexibility. I got a lot of feedback from the community saying it's a good idea because they always need a space to work from. Coffee shops are noisy. Sometimes libraries or bookstores, they're noisy as well, or they don't have the right internet, or people look weird at you when you stay there for like 7 hours. So I also had this issue myself when I was in Seoul last year in Korea. I had the language barrier as well. I couldn't find because I was Googling in English and I couldn't find the right spaces. So this application is full in English, and it's just going to show you the places that you're looking for in English. So you don't have to worry about translation.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So how the market feedback? How many months or weeks you have been launched this cup?
So officially we launched in May. So we're in month three, I would say. The feedback was pretty good in the way that people appreciate the option of being very flexible and pay per go. So overall, I think it was good feedback. We also got some feedback for features and for improvements of the platform and so on. So overall, pretty good. And we're still talking to users. If you want to test it, we're going to leave a link in the description below. Give us some feedback. There's a feedback form on exit, and we're happy to work with users, with spaces to build an amazing product together.
Okay. And can you tell me now we're in 2025, forward back, forward in the future 5 years from now and 2030, how you would like to see desktop as Airbnb for short for desks or for workspaces, especially
For
everywhere.
workspaces, yeah.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
a good question because those 5 years, I think they're going to be very interesting because we've got hybrid work, we've got remote work, we've got AI, we've got micro communities. So I think this kind of software fits really well into those the next 5 years. So I think we could integrate other travel products inside the app. We're going to launch a mobile app as well soon. So I think it has potential for things like communities, visas, maybe even taxis and cool places around you and communities. So I think sky's the limit. It depends on what users want and love, what they like to see in the app. I'm a very product oriented person. I like to build for people and make useful things. I like to build first of all, and then I think second of all, and also very important to build useful things for travelers and for remote workers.
Yeah, I think this is one of the missing apps that everyone is looking for, because it's, if you keep traveling, I mean, working from cafe is fine for short term, but if you would like to focus or do something that need just clear space, less voices, stable internet, you need to find something that have to be paid. So you mentioned that you already launched in Asia, so you plan to also go to the Middle East, or you can say other places like Europe.
Yeah, we're probably going to launch in other places going west. We don't know yet. We're just focusing right now on Asia, which is a good market, especially Thailand and Singapore and Malaysia for nomads. Singapore is a bit expensive, but still, I think we have a lot of expats who are there for a few days for business, and maybe they need a space like that, so they're going to go on our app and book a day pass.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Wish you all the best. I think
Thank
this is
you.
a very good product, and we will. You always keep us updated about the new features, the new release that's coming to the app. Yeah.
We'll do. Just follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram and my personal LinkedIn, and you'll see all the news there.
Okay, perfectly. Amazing, amazing. So to complete our episode, this fast one, we have like a couple of updates, especially from your side. You mentioned about there's a new digital nomad visa, especially in Europe, that get access to the Schengen area. You would like to give us some feedback about it?
Yeah, so Bulgaria, which is a very interesting country lately, we just had the Bansko Nomad Fest last month, I believe. I was there. Definitely, Bulgaria is a very interesting place for nomads for multiple reasons. First of all, I think it's a very affordable and safe country. It's part of the EU, so if you have a EU passport, you can easily, or if you have a Schengen visa, you can stay there no problem. And they literally just launched a new visa as well, called the Digital Nomad Visa. They joined a family of other, I don't know, maybe over 20 countries that have this visa. So Slovenia was one of the last ones in Europe to launch it. And I think it's a very good proposition for a few reasons. And please, jump on if you wanna add more things. But Bulgaria has a really interesting tax system. It has a 10% tax on, I think it's on profit, right, Mo, if I'm not wrong.
Flat rate, yes. They have
Flat
different
rate.
aspect. Yes, yeah, which is very good, attractive for entrepreneurs and people who would especially work remotely. It is not a hot destinations for businesses or remote, but with the Nomad conference that been running almost 5 years now. How many is
Yes. I
the
think it's at least four. I think it's at least
yeah,
four
after
years.
COVID? Yes, yeah, they
Yes.
started as the small village and now it's global nomad destination. Yeah, so it's getting a lot of the only interesting point I've seen the Bulgaria digital nomad visas is that Bulgaria have joined, Romania and Bulgaria have joined now the Schengen area, and Cyprus will follow very soon. So
Hmm.
the idea that you can have a visa access to a Schengen zone country that will give you access to more than 180 days or in 90 days, depending on your what passport you have. And this is one
Correct.
of the advantage of having that. And also, if you would like to set up a business or open a bank account or have a local, you can say even a virtual place to mention this is my global headquarter or where actually I do business, because people still, I mean, regulations and all over the world, it's very hard to say I keep traveling between countries, I don't have a base. So using Bulgaria will be one of the, and it's also a very affordable country. It's have
Exactly.
good weather, good food, lifestyle is different. It's not as you can say crowded in like in Greece or in Turkey, but
Correct.
they have a different vibes. Yeah,
And let me add a few things more. So I actually realized whilst I was in Bansko that Bansko is, first of all, there are quite a few expats there living because of the tax system. So again, you've got 10% corporate tax, and I think personal income tax is also 10%. So in total, you would be paying 20%. So you've got a lot of Americans and other Europeans who move there. They have a base, and then they travel from there just for tax reasons. Also, can so you've got community covered. There are a few co-living spaces, quite a few co-working spaces in Bansko. Also, you can ski in the winter, you can do hikes in the summer. Summer is emptier, you can get good prices. Most of the hotel and the apart hotels, they have sauna facilities, they have a swimming pool. So it's an amazing value for money, especially in the summer when it's off season. But actually, summer can be season there when we have the conference, for example. And by the way, I encourage everyone to come to the Digital Nomad Fest in Bansko, because you meet a lot of amazing people, and then it's during summer, so we've got a lot of activities. And then it's only, I think it's about 2 hours from Sofia, which has the international airport. You're also close to Greece, Albania, so it has a very interesting geographical position as well. You've got the Black Sea, so you can go to we can go to Sunny Beach, Golden Sands, Balchik, so on and so forth. So there is a lot of things to do actually in Bulgaria. The food is fantastic. They have a lot of organic food. It's a low key country. Don't expect things to go extremely fast. But it's also, I don't think it's too bureaucratical from what I've heard and seen. So I think it's a good compromise. And now the digital nomad visa coming in, plus the favorable tax rates they have for company and personal income, I think it makes it very attractive.
that's right. That's right. Totally agree. Yeah, it's like more destination and opening, and actually more destination and closing. You see what's happening
Yeah.
in Portugal and Spain, and there is a lot of demonstrations and crowds, and say digital nomads go home. We don't need to want you to
As
see
you said, Mo,
anymore. So
there's always an opportunity, right? So the whole visa game and tax game is ever changing, and it's always on the move. So as soon as some countries close, there's always the next opportunity, maybe in Bulgaria or Romania or Albania. So always be global, as you say. I think it's a very good saying that.
yes, yes, that's right. And this has come to another interesting news. I think it's not a shock, but I mean, there's always someone to start something. In the U.S. administration last week, they announced that they will start implementing something called U.S. tourist bond, or like a guarantee that you need to pay, especially for special countries with low ranked passports, especially from Africa, from the Middle East, or normally just to limit how many people overstay their visa in the US. The idea is very simple. If you're applying for B1, B2 US visa, by the way, I have a special course dedicated to how to apply for B1 to B2 and what's the difference between the US normal visas and ISTA, and how to play with understanding the rules, how to pass the interview if you would like to be interviewed. So, if you are now applying from certain countries, they're starting by a couple of countries in sub-Saharan Africa. You need to, once your visa is approved, before they approve it, you need to pay a bond is like a guarantee. You will pay to the US government. The starting will be 5K, and then 10K, and then 15K. It's depending on how risky is the country, and how many people are overstay the visa in certain places. So you leave this as a guarantee in the US administration, and you travel. If you overstay your visa, the government take the money. So you'll
Mhm.
not be able to claim it back. If you follow the visa rules and regulations, and for example, if the visa officer, when you get entry admitted to the US, they give you like 3 weeks or 2 months. If you overstay the time, you are violating your visa rules, and they'll not be able to claim
And more,
the
I
money
guess, let
back.
me ask you straight off the bat. I guess this doesn't apply to European or UK citizens. It's
No,
only for
no, no.
okay. It's only for special
But but
passports that
but
don't.
but the idea here in the US, I would like to mention something. Many of us have dual nationals, or couple, or even treble, or couple of passport. The US only deal with you with the country of the first country that you have a citizenship. For example, I have multiply passport. My first passport, I'm Egyptian. I was born in Egypt. So the US will always look to me as an Egyptian. Even I have a European passport. So if you are born in a country like in the Middle East or Africa, or you have a descent, or you have that, the US only consider where you're born. If you
Hmm.
have multiple passport, he doesn't care.
So they
And
kind of don't recognize naturalization in a way.
no, they recognize naturalization unless you declare the first time you apply for US visa and say I was born in this country and this is my citizenship. They didn't change it, even if you have another citizenship all the way.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
a
makes
thing.
sense.
So I have a lot of friends who are born in Saudi Arabia and Dubai. I have a friend, he's Canadian. He was born in the UAE in Dubai. And when he applied for the US visa, I mean, Canadian doesn't need a visa, but himself, he always denied in the border and he need to apply for a visa because he was born outside Canada. Even he's Canadian. So they have this soil idea that if you're born in another country, even if you're not citizenship of the country, they consider you from the country unless you have to prove. It's, that the US immigration rules are it's very hard to understand, but about especially the B1, B2, because I have a client who his family, half of his family was born in the UK, and half is his family, the other family was born in Nigeria. The people born in the UK got the visa. The people born in Nigeria rejected. Even they are the same family. They're applying together.
Yeah,
All of them have
interesting.
UK passport.
So
So
more, let me ask you why. What do you think it's the pros and cons here? So of this new visa, should people be excited? Should people be worried?
it's I think it's not just about exciting, but once the US announced something, other countries will follow. There's like an intelligence alliance between something called Five Eyes between the US, Canada, EU, Australia, New Zealand. This alliance of sharing information, especially visas and moving borders. Once a country implemented, the US is still in trial. The visa bond thing will be in trial. I think other countries like the UK, the Canada, maybe the EU in the future will implement something like this to limit how many people are overstaying their visas. And by the way, 25 years ago, I have a friend who traveled to Dubai. At this time, they need to have a visa to Dubai. So they pay the travel agent a guarantee. At this time was just 1K USD. So it was not an official way long time ago, but now it's coming back.
Hmm.
What now? What this is like shift in you know from 20 from starting after the year 2000 till 2020, the world was open.
Hmm.
We used to have the open borders, open skies, open. Now after especially COVID, we start seeing another trend that they will be limiting about the movement of people. So the bond, other countries or other regions could start copying this. So the only option that you have right now is to always have a backup option, have another passport, have another residency, because you never know when you need it, especially if you're doing your business on a global scale. If you would like to access a lot of going back and forth to the US, and you're just depending on the B1, B2 visa, that's not reliable anymore, because
Hmm.
there is a lot of restrictions and changes in the rules. For a very simple amount of money, you can apply for something called E2 visa or O1 visa if you are qualified, and you can get unlimited access to the US, and you will not be asked to renew, like going interviews, or your visa could be revoked or anything. The same thing to the EU and the UK and other places. If you get an access to the country or a region and you have the options and you have the fund to invest it, just do it. That will be like a building your global portfolio and always look ahead to the trends that's happening in the market. One more thing I would like to say before we close this episode, that the citizenship by investment, especially in the Caribbean, the five Caribbean, they're thinking about implementing a new rule that you'll not be able to get the citizenship unless you spend at least 60 days or 90 days at the qualifying period before we grant you the citizenship.
That's it. So
That's also,
that's it. Just 60 days, let's say maximum during a few years. It's not that bad, is
yeah,
it?
it's not that bad, but this is before granting the citizenship.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to get a Caribbean citizenship, especially from the five like St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, the other one, Antigua and Barbuda, all the other small islands, before you just submit the application, you pay them the investment or buy the property, they get approved, they send you the passport. There is no need to be
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Now it's not being implemented, but there is a lot of talks about it. that you need to go to the island or the country. You stay there to show up as depending on 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. You stay, it will be like kind of holiday, but in the same time, that's more restrictions. And I think many entrepreneurs, especially who are building global businesses or are working in crypto or nomads or whatever, they have a lot of wealth. They would like to acquire citizenship. They always think ahead. Do I will be able to spend like this 60 or 90 days in a country and then get the passport? But the good news that there's more countries open up the citizen. For example, Argentina just open up
Hmm.
the citizenship rule have been approved by the parliament last week. So there's more country are closing, and at the same time more country are opened, which is how it sees the world. There's no opportunities, especially in Latin America. Latin America is growing very fast, and they are attracting a lot of investors and a lot of wealthy individuals who would like to get out of the hassles that are happening in the US and Europe and generally the West.
Yeah. Makes sense. Cool. That's really interesting to hear, Mo. I didn't know about the Caribbean news on the passport, so that's very very good to know. Mo, so I know you're teaching some courses. You've got some communities. Maybe you can leave some links in the description so people can join your community or buy the course, because you definitely have a lot of good information for our audience as well. So we're gonna do the same.
Yes, definitely, definitely, yeah, yeah. And maybe we're thinking we have a course together that could be in tax and nomadism. So we'll keep you posted as always.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. We'll stay in touch. Thanks a lot, Mo. Have a great
Okay,
day.
thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
Bye bye.
Thanks so much for watching, and stay global, my friends.